Hi, I'm Ashley.
I'm Ashley.
And I'm Sadie. We've got all three of us today for a kind of a rare Misfits episode anymore.
hmm
Oh gosh, it's so hard. Gosh, just driving schedules. All of us.
Yeah,
Um,
well, yeah, just with test time of year, like being super busy and stuff, and then you just being off the rails at school right now.
yeah, it's a bit rough. Um, yeah, it just you have to be really conscientious and can't think of the word. A little brain's fried. Mindful, intentional. That's the word I'm looking for. I have to be very intentional with my time. But yeah, this works wonderful doing Zoom. Definitely is more conducive to participating. But you guys have been crushing it, um, listening, and you guys have had some really great episodes. So well done.
They're a little squirrely. We don't have our grounded our grounding Ashley with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think you're just being authentic, and I much rather have that than some of the other ones I've listened to where it's like, gosh, are you just like reading off a piece of paper or what's going on?
Yeah, we're
Mm.
def when it's just Nelson and I, it's definitely not scripted.
Um,
Not even like
to say the least.
listed.
That's awesome. Um,
Oh, shoot.
yeah, so real briefly, what's new with the two of you?
Uh, Not much. He said, no side. I mean, we just did an episode last week, so nothing's really changed in our world. The weather's a little bit nicer, and the little
And
demon
this
bugs are slightly less
I
awful, but
was just
uh,
getting ready to say that because I'm outside, as you guys know right now, walking so I can um, multitask. And that's one of the first things I noticed was those beastly bugs. They're gone.
you can actually be outside and it's just not pure rage the whole time, and maybe halfway enjoy the weather.
Have you guys explained those bugs? Like in
Yeah,
case we have listeners like that are like, wait, what are you talking about? What do you mean those little black bugs?
yeah, I think we talked about them on the last episode. I
Yeah,
guess I don't know.
kinda.
Yeah, if we ever got into detail, but yeah, they're like these little, like super tiny, like they call them no-see-ums, like because you can't see them. These little black bugs.
They're actually different. I looked into it. No-see-ums are
I
different than the little black bugs.
Oh,
I call
No-see-ums are
them the pea
longer and go
bugs.
down.
oh,
Yeah, these are minute pirate bugs, is what they are. And they bite you and then they pee acid
Wait,
on you.
I was
yeah,
gonna say I thought they pee on you.
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah,
And then
I call them pea bugs.
No, yeah.
pea bugs.
Pea bugs.
I just
Yep.
call them little bugs from hell.
I mean
But
that works.
yeah, it's like it literally makes, especially when it's nice. Which sucks is when it's like that nice, like crisp 70 fall weather. It makes it just like unbearable to even be outside or even enjoy. If you're in the Midwest, you absolutely
Yeah.
know what we're talking about. Like you almost have to wait till it gets cold enough for like the first freeze, and then they all go back down to the depths of hell. Oh, little baby kitty.
Yeah, yeah. So obviously the audience can't, but I'm outside walking and I am like being followed back and forth by all the cats. Look at them.
I would not be upset if they were all following me. I'd probably just lay there in the ground and just let them take me.
Okay, anyway, I just had to share that.
Look at this little like mama duck outside being followed by
Oh
little
yeah.
kitties.
Yeah. Well, like I told you guys before, I didn't want to walk on the gravel where you would hear constant crunching. So I'm just walking back and forth in the yard. So anyway, okay, so what are we getting into today?
Well, hold on, pause. Before we actually get into it, I was watching the classic TikTok. And I have a good fun question that came up for us.
Oh,
Ooh,
good.
I love
Okay.
Okay. All right. You have to choose. So if you were going to ride any type of pasta into battle, what type of pasta and why?
Okay,
I was
Jared
like, that's
Jensen.
just not going. I figured you would know. As soon as I saw it, I figured I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, Nelson will probably know this one. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, if you were a piece of pasta riding into battle, what type of pasta and why?
I
I'm
mean, I think
gonna
I would like
go
classic macaroni because I could like sit on it like a swing or like ride it like a pony.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I liked Jensen's like pasta. I can't even remember what he said, but it had a hole in it, kind of like mac and cheese
Was it
does.
rigatoni? No.
No, rigatoni's like a
This
oh my gosh, I can't even think. No, but it's got like a hole in it. He's like, I could fire that shit off like a cannon. I'm like, I like that. I like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I would do the little like the spiral ones because it'd be like a spring. You could just like bounce.
oh, like
Yeah.
the risotto or something.
Yeah.
Risotto, the curly ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, the curly ones could be like a spring. And you could
Yeah.
just
There you go.
bounce.
Okay.
And you can maybe drill a hole too.
It could be like a spring cannon.
Yes.
There you go.
Um.
Hop
Oh,
off into the sunset.
also exciting because Olympia is this weekend.
Yes, it
Actually,
is.
like
Oh
starting
yeah.
on Friday. So yeah,
Are they
we went the
playing
last 2
pros?
years.
Mhm.
Yes, pros. We went the last 2 years, and I'm kind of like, just like, oh man, I wish I was there. And I don't even compete anymore, but I just really love the atmosphere,
Like the
watching the
expo is a lot of fun.
athletes.
Yeah.
Gosh, yeah, it's so much cool stuff. It's like trick or treating for adults, fitness
It
adults.
is. It is. And like there's like what people don't understand too is like the expos, like there a lot of times you have like your bigger name athletes that'll be at booths and stuff, but a lot of times they're just like walking around too, like
Mm-hmm.
in the crowd. So you can like just bump into random people. Like I literally bumped into Brooke Ince the year that I went and just like had like a that awkward starstruck like holy oh my God, that's Brooke Ince. Like
Oh, you're one of those fucking awkward people. Yeah. Hey,
met
what's
me.
up? Yeah, that's true.
Um, well, yeah, it's super cool. Like you just get to like walk around and it's just a whole vibe and um
You know,
you can watch the show. Well, not finals, but the um the show is going on and stuff during the expo. So that's pretty cool too.
Yeah.
Like you can just like
yeah,
walk back to the back and watch for a little bit and then go walk around and
we went to finals the last 2 years, and finals last year at oh in Vegas, like the way it was set up was quite the production. And
yeah, they make it like a whole like legit
yeah,
like
it was so
show
like the
show.
year before when it was in Orlando wasn't quite as spectacular. Um, but yeah, last year was pretty awesome. It's just such a vibe and the music and yeah,
Are
you
they
know that what?
I was gonna say, are they keeping it in Vegas now? Or are they gonna continue flipping back and forth? Are
You
they
know,
going? I saw somewhere they were staying. They're gonna quit doing Vegas.
That's what I
they
saw.
and they were in Vegas last year, and historically it was in Vegas, and
Yeah, it's
then they
always been
moved it
Vegas.
to Orlando like 2 years
Hmm.
ago, brought it back to Vegas. So I honestly don't know, and I hadn't looked into it much this year just because I knew that we weren't going. But the other thing I always thought was really interesting regarding the expo and like when you bump into some of these athletes in person is they are significantly smaller in person.
Oh yeah,
And it's
like
crazy.
all around, like they're still like muscle wise huge,
Oh
but
yeah, yeah,
they're still like, but not as big as they look in their pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all
yes.
super short. Like Jay Cutler. Oh, I when I like we met him and stuff, and I was like, oh, you're like up to my shoulders,
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah, he's
Yes.
itty bitty.
mhm. People don't realize how small you actually are.
Yeah.
Like people will look at my photos and think I'm big, and I'm like, I'm fucking small as shit. Like I'm not big at all.
Yeah. Like the muscle bellies are big, but like the overall package of the person, especially when you get down to the leanness that they do, it's like
Hmm.
they're like tiny people. It's just
Mm-hmm.
their
Yeah.
muscle bellies are so full and they're zoomed in on photography and videos that we see on social media.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah, it
especially
just
like
kind of gives us
Instagram.
illusion.
Mm-hmm. It's all
So
big,
anyway,
big smoke show.
it'll be interesting to watch and um
I'm
yeah.
excited to see who takes over the figure now that Sid's done.
No, it's gonna be Jessica.
You think so?
Yeah, she's came in second after Sid. How many years? She's
Yeah,
gonna come in
that's true.
first, and then it's gonna be Lola. I already know who's gonna fucking win.
I'm excited to see how
Bets and meats will get top 5 for sure.
I want to see how Missy does.
I don't like her physique at all.
Missy's
I
really?
don't. I do not. Something about her physique, I just do not like. I think her shoulders overtake everything.
She does
So
have massive
she's in
shoulders.
fitness, right?
No,
Was.
she was the fitness champ, and since her
Right.
knee was all tore up, she's done doing fitness after because she came back after her surgery,
Yep.
won the Arnold,
Yep.
um, and
And then
then
she
I don't
had
know if she
a
did Olympia last year or not.
yes, it was because we were there at the like when she went down on stage, like during her
Yeah, yep,
and she just like sat there. I forgot all about this. She just like sat there and I remember kind of looking over at my husband being like, huh, I don't think that's right. And then they like came out and got her and I
yeah.
completely forgot about that.
See, I follow her YouTubes and stuff, and she's a big axe and sledge athlete too, so I see a lot of her stuff on there. But I didn't really like her personality and stuff. Like I just like her like as a
Mm.
person too. Like her and her husband are just really really cool people. And so I think that's kind of like I've got like a bias towards her. Just I think just because I like
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I
like
mean,
what she
okay,
puts on social
yeah,
media, you can relate to and appreciate.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see kind of how everyone stacks up.
Oh, I got an idea of something I was going to mention, and I don't think this athlete will know I'm talking. She probably doesn't listen to us anyway. But so I've had this athlete that I have followed for a long time, and I would even call her an acquaintance. And what I keep noticing, and granted, like people put out there on social media, it's a way to stay accountable. It's a way to help out other athletes.
Mm-hmm.
But let's be honest, like there is a degree of kind of tooting your own horn. I mean,
Yeah.
and that's just how it is. Nothing wrong with it. You can be proud of your
Well, I think this kind of
accomplishments.
comes with the sport.
Right. And, but this particular athlete, I've noticed that her content has really changed into, she's showing the, like recording herself, showing her glutes. She's like
Hmm.
one of those that will hike her shorts way up so that her
Is
glutes
she
are
one that
completely
bends
hanging
over to
out.
show her hamstrings?
Yes, she does.
That's so stupid.
Which
I'm
to
sorry, but
each
if
their
you
own.
can't show your hamstring tie-in with the regular pose, you look
Well, she
stupid.
does.
I
I
don't
mean,
want to
she
look up your
has
donut
a
hole.
yes, that's what I'm getting to. She has a great physique. I do not discredit her or her hard work. But what I've noticed is that she keeps posting these negative comments from people and getting all butthurt about it because she's saying, like, because people are on there and she'll screenshot a comment about, yes, like pretty much criticizing her for showing her butthole. Anyway, you get lots of comments on there about pretty much they're criticizing her.
Yeah.
And boy, does she get all bent out of shape. However, she kind of has this passive aggressive response to them of, I'm sorry you're hurting today that you had to go out of your way to criticize me. So, anyway, my rebuttal to that, and I sent a message, a very blank message, because she was really going after males. And I
Mm.
said, listen, I don't think it's about people hurting and that's why they were criticizing you. I think it's people are getting frustrated with everyone sexualizing the sport.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And and I said, that's what I think becomes the issue. And the response back was, well, men always make it about sex and men always sexualize. I said, I disagree. If you're a woman and you're putting out thirst trap type
You're
photos and videos,
very well aware
you're
that that's a thirst trap.
you are asking for, if you can't take all the compliments that you're searching for without accepting the criticism, then don't do it.
Right.
So anyway, what are your thoughts? Have you noticed that recently? Like it's one thing to help out athletes, but it's just getting a little ridiculous of, some of these like thirst trap videos or they're in the
Rage bait.
gym.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just weird.
Stupid.
And
Yeah, I think I see both sides of it. Like Nelson just said, like I see a lot of like the rage bait, like people getting upset. I think anymore, like a lot of people on social media, especially like TikTok, Instagram, stuff like that, like just so badly want, I don't know if like to
Which,
be relevant is the right word, but
or
like just want to be offended by something or
They
be
just want to fight
upset.
and argue. That's all they want to fucking do.
Yeah. Yeah, like they have to like find something to like blow up or like victimize or
Victimize
something.
is a really good word for it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
yes,
sorry,
I
but
would
if you're,
say with this, yeah.
go ahead, Ash.
Oh, no, I was to say, I think that's part of it with this lady. I honestly don't think, I think she's very confident and she loves showing off what she has worked really hard for. So I don't discredit that. But it's almost like it reminds me of like in high school when you have the really pretty popular girls and they're all happy when they're getting all the compliments. But as soon as
Hmm.
someone points out something, boy, they get awfully defensive.
Yeah.
Well,
And
you can't sit there and post a photo bent clear the hell over with your phone in between your legs, not expecting any criticism.
and at that
Like,
point,
you're
it's
gonna
not
get the
about,
guys who think it's hot. You're gonna get the guys who think it's stupid, and you're gonna get the best of both
yes,
worlds. You're gonna get bad comments. You're gonna get good comments.
Hmm.
you are
You put your shit up.
inviting those comments both ways when you choose to post that content.
Yeah.
And
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 then
I
just
would say
need to only highlight then the negative ones
exactly.
and make it like an issue. Like I said, yeah, just trying to victimize
A
Yes, and
lot
it's
of
like a
people are.
passive
everything.
aggressive way of actually blaming it on the person.
Hmm.
And do those people need to put the negative comments? No. So I'm not saying that's right either, but for it to be made that big of a deal because you got some criticism, I mean, just move on.
Yeah. I definitely think like I've noticed a lot more people being way more like bold and just being like straight up like that internet trolls, like just like just being mean, like just on like
Yeah.
unnecessary mean comments on like everything, everything
Hmm.
for
Yeah.
no reason.
And
I
one
think
could
a lot of
argue
it has
too
to
that,
stem from like political shit.
Yeah, everyone's just
Everybody's on edge and everybody
mhm.
has something to say. And
ironically, another comment this lady shared was someone told her, clearly you're so far left because instead of just, I can't remember the exact wording, instead of just accepting a criticism, you found a way to like blame your actions on someone else or something. And I thought, okay, he did not mean to make it a political statement.
but they
It's just,
always do.
Everyone all
When there
yes.
was
yes,
oh God, like a tornado or something, or some big weather thing, we'll say a tornado, like an EF5 hit somewhere a couple months ago, and I can't remember what it was, but I read a comment saying that, oh, it's Trump's fault. Like, what the hell does Trump have to do with the weather?
It's a yeah,
Why, how can we make everything so political? Like, I just want to punch all you people in the fucking face.
just everyone
agree.
equally.
Yes. I'm getting more and more insensitive. I really could give a fuck less about people's feelings. Like, get the fuck over it.
Yeah, I just
And
everyone wants something to be, I think, upset about, and I think we're just in that climate right now, and it kind of sucks.
I agree,
It kind
completely
of
agree.
does. Yeah.
And
Um.
it's like you have to somewhat tiptoe around even like speaking openly to other people because
Man,
you don't want to cause conflict or
yeah, I
and
don't care.
Yeah.
right, but like in a professional setting you
I
have to
can
be able
kind
to
of get
do
away
that.
with it though.
Right, that's what I mean, like in
Yeah.
a professional setting, like in a medical setting,
Right.
you have to be really careful um, about expressing political or religious views or um, ever showing any type of judgment.
I
I
think
mean, that's
there
just like
should
a
be a
big
time and
no-no.
a place for political stuff, religious stuff, and it's definitely not at a workplace, unless if you're a politician.
Yeah.
Right. So anyway, no, I just thought I would bring that up because I thought, okay, am I the only one who's noticing this?
No.
Like,
Well, how old is this person? Is she young, like Gen Z?
no,
Oh,
no, she's older.
See,
And like
I've
I
noticed
said,
it just like across the board. I feel like just
I've noticed a lot of rage baiting with Gen Z. Like I come across these stupid idiots. Oh, I'm taking 500 mgs a test and such, Anavar, Tren, and all this, and zero side effects. Bullshit. You take 25 mgs of Anavar and you're still gonna have side effects. So
you take aspirin and you're
yeah, yeah, like you take
yeah,
baby
two
pills
things.
and you're gonna have some sort of side effect. It's just for
Right,
likes, comments,
yeah.
attention. I'm like, you rage
right.
baiting young dipshit.
Shoot, I take whey protein and I have
Yeah, I do it
Yeah,
to the bathroom.
I have side effects.
Like, damn,
it's
if
like,
you're taking 500 mgs a test and Anavar and all that, and you have no issues, fuck, sign me up.
Mm,
Jeez.
yeah, I think it's everyone's desire to like be relevant
Yeah.
somehow or to validate their worth or whatever. And
yeah.
but anyway, just interesting patterns I'm noticing. And the beauty of it is what I think is so helpful that if something bothers me online, I just gotten to the point where I unfollow. The only reason I even responded, because normally I won't respond to stuff like that. It's just not my thing. But because this lady is what I would say an acquaintance, so I
Yeah,
felt
someone
like
you
I
actually
could,
know.
yeah, I felt like I could give her another insight of, hey, I don't think it's
Yeah.
necessarily like someone's feeling bad about themselves. I think, you know, if people are choosing to post this type of content, you have to be ready for some people who don't agree with that type of content. And that's
Right.
their right. And they also have the right to just simply unfollow if they don't like it,
Mm-hmm.
which I've done
Exactly.
quite a bit.
Yeah. Um, but speaking of side effects, we're gonna talk about supplements today.
Yay.
Yeah, that's perfect. So I think, okay, first thing, if someone were to ask, like, you know, they're doing all the things and they're like, oh, what supplement should I be taking? What would your response be to that? Because I think the misconception is that you have to take supplements and that
Yeah,
there's
what?
these magic supplements that will just be a game changer. And I feel like they're more like tools.
They
Yeah,
are
yeah.
supplements you do not need. You
Uh,
don't need any
I was
supplements.
gonna say first and foremost, like people need to remember it's literally what it's called. It should supplement your foundation that you already have. Like if you can eat either a protein shake or,
Eat a protein shake.
you know, ingest a protein. I have not had caffeine this morning. I'm trying to, I know I'm trying, I'm in that awkward stage where I'm either gonna be able to take a nap before work if I don't take caffeine or power through. And
My
I
husband
chose,
drinks
I know,
caffeine in order to take a nap.
I know, but I've been having, which, and we'll get to one of the supplements, but my sleep has just been, I haven't been able to fall asleep very well.
Oh.
Anyway, ingest.
But I agree with what you're
Protein shake.
saying.
Yeah, I mean,
Supplements, just like we said with peptides in another episode, like taking supplements by themselves isn't going to magically transform. But with all the other checkbox things like sleep and diet and exercise and stress
yeah,
control, hydration, then supplements are just adding to what you're already doing.
yeah. And I think like I don't kind of like with everything too, like I don't think there's a one size fits all. I think a lot of it really depends on your goals, your, you know, where you're at just in life, health wise, like, you know, it all really depends. I
Mm.
don't know.
It depends. I think that's the perfect answer. Like there is, if someone says what supplements do I take, it depends. Depends on your goal. It depends on what you tolerate. What are
Well, it
you
depends on
already
what you're
doing?
doing right now too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like what are you eating? You know, you gotta look at your nutrition first. Okay, first, how much protein are you intaking? Let's
Real
start there.
actual protein,
Yeah,
not
actual
bars
food.
and shakes.
Chicken, beef, fish, whatever. Like your actual whole food protein. Let's
Mhm.
start there. Are you eating breakfast? Because everybody and their damn dog never fucking eats breakfast. Okay, we got to get you started on eating breakfast. Okay, what are we doing for carbs? What are we doing for fats? Once we get that down, how's your hydration? Okay, everything is 100%. Great. Let's talk supplements now.
Yeah.
You need your foundation first. I think of it as a house. You start with foundation, you build that foundation. Supplements, those are going to be your walls. You keep adding up. And if you're an elite athlete, like a professional bodybuilder, the roof is going to be your steroids, which nobody fucking needs. But I think of elite athletes as a house. Builds your
And I'll
foundation.
add to that real quick. Your peptides would be your decor.
Oh, hey, there you
Yeah.
go. Yeah, exactly. It's your house. Your body is your house. Start with the foundation, build the walls, and then everything else is a cherry on top. That's your roof. That's your decor. That's your garden, whatever. Stuff that is not needed.
Yeah. So I think we can talk about probably the most like hands down research and the only one that actually has like legitimate like research studies to prove
Science
it
to back
is
it up.
beneficial would be creatine.
Has a lot of neurological benefits to it.
Yeah. I think if someone was going to say what they want to take one thing, they're like absolutely what is one thing I need to be taking? I would probably say like creatine would probably be a pretty safe bet for most people across the board.
I would say
Old, young,
everybody
yeah,
should be
old,
taking
young,
it.
girls, boys.
Well, and there's literature to back that up with
Yeah.
even individuals as young as 14. And so it's really across the board.
I have
Um,
now
and
15-year-old that's taking creatine.
well, and I guess too, it's important to understand, creatine, it's working on the ATP of the cell. So it's helping to regenerate energy, but it's also plays a huge role in the cell hydration. So one of the things that used to drive me nuts is I think there was this misconception of people perceiving that creatine would cause them to put on all this actual muscle mass because in a month they would be up a couple pounds. And it's like, well, no, it's not causing you to actually put on muscle, but because your cells are producing good energy, they're adequately hydrated, now you can actually perform more efficiently on a cellular level and you're recovering better. And so that is what's causing some of the muscular hypertrophy. And that weight gain, you do not put on 6 pounds of muscle in a month. That's simply water retention. But I think that's kind of why it got a bad rep years ago because it was like almost put into the same category of steroids.
Yeah.
And, there was a stigma to it until more research and literature backed it up. And then you start adding all the cognitive studies that they're adding to regarding dementia and helping to prevent Alzheimer's and just overall brain health.
Yeah.
I think it should be in everybody's supplement list. I don't want to say everybody, that's a blanket statement, so I have to be careful with that. Most people would be okay with doing creatine. And there's even like literature now with they used to say, don't do more than 5. You're not saturating, you're not doing anything better just by doing more. And now there's literature saying that you could go up to like 20 as long as you're not having like some of the GI side effects, if you're really wanting to tap into some of the brain effects.
Yeah. Well, and I think just like cost wise too, like especially like the like monohydrate, like so don't mess with anything else. Like it's not worth the money. It's not really any more benefits. Like just stick with like the creatine monohydrate. But it is cost wise a very, very cost effective supplement that you are actually going to it does what it says it's going to do as far as like benefit supplement health wise. Like you can get like a tub of it that can last a couple months for like 20-30 bucks if that.
Yeah.
Like it's a very 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 cost effective across the board supplement.
But if you're, kind of like what we're saying before, if you're only taking creatine, but you're not getting your protein goals and you're not even going to the gym, you're not going to magically grow muscle just because you're taking creatine.
What?
think-
I thought that's how
think
that
of-
worked, Ashley. I thought I could just sit on the couch all day and just grow muscle magically.
I honestly think that's what some people think.
Oh, absolutely. They think that's what steroids do to you. I'm like, no,
You,
no.
you still have to actively work.
Yeah. And I thought of a thing going back to a house. The walls are like weight training. You're building your house.
Yes,
The
building
roof
your house.
would be your supplements, the cherry on top. All your
Mhm.
decor and stuff would be like your peptides and steroids and stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's
And your
not,
foundation, like what you
yeah,
said, is your diet, your exercise, your sleep, your stress management,
yeah,
and your
Mhm.
emotional well-being.
yeah.
I think another one too that's well, two more that are pretty widely talked about would be pre-workout and protein powder.
Hmm.
Um, do you guys do so what are you guys' thoughts on pre-workout? You yay, nay, depends.
Nay.
You've been a
I too.
million monster though, right?
Yeah, I don't take pre-workout anymore. As I've mentioned before in one of our episodes, I was kind of not really deep, but I did cocaine and I had a really bad incident one night to where I couldn't do pre-workout anymore. Just so much caffeine at once just did not agree with my heart. So I haven't taken it for God, 9 years, 8, 9 years, something like that. So I stay away from pre-workout. I can do the
I
no
also,
stim pre-workout though.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like our AB pump. I can do that, but yeah, I don't do pre-workout anymore and I get along just fine without it, so I don't need it.
Yeah.
I
Duncan,
also
you
don't
free?
really. I do a pre-workout, I guess, concoction with amino acids and just essentially electrolytes, like the LMNT. We've
Yeah.
tried some other brands. Just the electrolyte, making sure I'm like well hydrated
Mm-hmm.
because if you're dehydrated, that can be conducive to just a not great workout.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily need the caffeine necessarily. I used to like swear by the caffeine pre-workout. I loved the tingling sensation, but really I
Mhm.
think it was just the placebo effect of believing that I needed this like pre-workout to get me going.
It's
And
very
I just
ritualized and habitualized.
yeah, I just don't need it. I'm with Nelson on that.
Yeah. I go in spurts. A lot of mine kind of depends on where I'm at, like if in prep, not in prep, if I worked the night before. Mine is a lot of like life dependent, I guess. I also work nights, so my sleep, which I'm gonna pot calling the kettle black here, but obviously sleep is super important, but there's nights where I can just tell like my sleep wasn't on par, the best that it was. And so I will do pre-workout on those days, especially if it's like for like a heavy leg day or a heavy back day where I really want to be able to just go in and really work. I will, but there's a lot of times anymore I only do maybe a half or two-thirds of a scoop rather than a full scoop. But
Well, and you're
I have a really high caffeine tolerance. Fortunately, my job and nights kind of fall victim to that, but
I read a study one time, um, and then I ended up hearing someone talk about it, like a gosh, I don't remember if he was like a scientist or clinician. And I was like, oh, maybe it is a thing. And I've never personally tried it, but I think naturally it's happened where the study was saying that, you get to the point, and this makes sense, you get to the point where you're so tolerant, like you have a physiologic dependence,
oh
and this is
yeah.
like drugs too, but on caffeine.
Oh, for
And so
sure.
then you become, it just doesn't really affect you anymore.
That's
And so one of
110%.
the things they recommended was actually like trying to go completely off of it and weaning
Hmm.
yourself off of, because if you just try to go cold turkey, the headaches,
Yep.
that's not gonna be fun. You can even blood pressure, nausea, vomiting, all the things. But when you then reintroduce it, it's kind of like, you're giving yourself not necessarily a fresh start, but the receptors are gonna take the caffeine differently.
Yeah, that's
So
I can definitely speak to that. Like I can tell when my tolerance is getting too high. Just because like especially at work, like if I have a coffee or something like that, like it just doesn't really doesn't do anything. And I'm like, okay, I need to cut down. Kind of like today, like, yeah, I could have had a coffee before we came, but it's like then I also know one, I'm probably not going to sleep very good. And then on top of that, like when I go to have more caffeine tonight, like it's not going to have the effect I want it to. Um,
Right.
so yeah,
I
that's what I
love
feel like it's,
coffee. Yeah, I get that. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
oh no, you're fine.
Yeah, I personally love coffee. Like coffee's my jam, but
Hmm.
it's more for the enjoyment out of it and
Yeah.
not the caffeine requirement. I think it's more of the feeling it gives in my heart,
Yeah.
pure
Yeah.
enjoyment.
Well, and too, if
Caffeine's a
someone,
nice side effect.
well, like Nelson kind of said too, if you're someone who likes kind of like the tingles or you feel like you get like a decent pump from it, like and you don't want the caffeine part of it, like a no stim pre-workout is a fantastic option.
Hmm.
There's a ton of people, especially if you're someone who works out later at night and then goes to bed relatively soon after that. Doing a no stim pre would be a really good option. Otherwise just your classic like pink salt and water. That's a really good pre-workout as well. Like you're gonna have decent pumps, hydration, all that stuff from simply just
Hmm.
having some salty water.
Some sodium.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's why we've really liked the like
Element.
element tea or
Yep.
the um, just those electrolyte packets for the hydration, and they taste good. And
Yeah. I like Element because it doesn't have a lot. It has doesn't isn't packed full with sugar. We use though that on race weekends. Our
that's the
kids
same
like
one
it. We
that
like it. Yeah.
I'm talking about. It's just pronounced element tea. It's spelled
Yep.
element. Yeah,
Yep.
same thing. Redmond has a good one. Redmond Salt.
Oh yeah.
Um, they're a company out of Utah, and so their salt is like off the mountains. I don't know, but high quality salt. Not that someone has to be super detailed about what salt they're using,
Yeah.
but what we're talking about is probably a little better than just table salt.
Right. So moving on then, so another one. I used to be super religious with this one, and just cost wise, I cut it out because I really didn't notice a benefit really from it. Would be like your BCAAs, EAAs, your intra workout stuff.
Mhm.
Um, I used to always have I would do the EAAs, which is your just like more of your like essential amino acids rather than the
Yep.
branch chain amino acids. Layperson, they're essentially the same thing. Um,
Right.
I used to always drink the EAAs, intro workout, like swore by it. I think a lot of it was just I liked having something sweet to drink. I really didn't notice. They're expensive too. They're usually 40 plus bucks for a 30 serving container.
That's why we don't have any in stock, and
Yeah,
you don't need it.
yeah. I don't. I haven't for probably at least a year, if not more at this point. I think it's kind of a take it or leave it. I don't really think there's not a lot that says they actually do what they say they're gonna do, research wise.
I use amino acids, which is slightly different than the BCAAs, but it does have a protein component to it. So it's not going to magically change anything. Or, BCAAs, they made it sound like you had to have this,
Yeah,
or
make or
your
break your
energy
workout
transport.
recovery.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I purely just use the amino acids as a way to get other protein peptides into my system because it's really difficult for me to um, like I have to be very mindful about getting my protein intake
Hmm.
in. And so if I'm sipping on them, and not even just before a workout, if I'm sipping on them at other times, it allows me to get some added protein and amino acids, which are building blocks of protein,
Hmm.
for those who don't understand that, without having to have like a protein shake in the moment. And does it replace my protein intake? No, but it helps to kind of like fill in the gaps.
Yeah.
And it tastes good. And the brand that we get is um, relatively inexpensive, and we don't use a whole lot of other supplements, so we
Hmm.
don't have a lot invested. So for me, for us, we enjoy them. So are they needed? No.
Yeah. I think it's pretty good consensus. Like, if you want them, you can afford them. Yeah, sure. But it's not, definitely not, like you said, it's not going to be a make or break type
Like
of
they
thing.
made you believe. back
exactly.
in the day.
Yeah. Well, it's easy to transition then into protein. So protein powder, if you want to include bars, protein bars, sure. Um, that I think a lot of people will use a protein shake as like
A
a
meal replacement.
yes, a meal
Stop
replacement.
doing that.
Yes,
God, that pisses me off.
they make actual meal replacement
Yes.
shakes, which are different than
And
just
they're higher in carbs.
rather than just a protein
They're high in
shake.
fats too, yeah.
Um, I
So
think
coming from someone though, like I think we have to be careful though too to say like they're bad or they're not good. Because for
right.
some people, maybe that is better than nothing for them. So,
Yeah, well, that's what I was
instead
gonna.
of going to Casey's and having a slice of pizza, they have a protein meal replacement shake because it does have the fats, the
Yes.
carbs, the protein.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was leading into. Like I think if you're going to use it for a meal, I would suggest doing more of like the protein meal replacement, like shakes, powder, stuff like that. Because there is a difference like between like just the protein powder or like the protein meal replacement powder.
Whey protein, unlike the like Source 7, what we have.
Yeah, I definitely think there's a time and a place, and like if you are someone who struggles eating actual whole foods, like you were just saying, Duncan, I absolutely I think they can be a benefit for someone who does struggle to
Oh,
get actual protein in. I think if you could choose between whole foods or a shake, like obviously I would say whole foods. Um,
100%.
but like they're like convenient. I'd be lying if I said there wasn't nights when I'm at work where sorry, there's two stray cats out Nelson's window that are just having a heyday.
And one of them's a tricycle too.
Anyway, yeah, I think when you're time and place, like it is very convenient. Like there'd be a lot of times that I'm working, that I can't have a full meal. Especially if I'm in the car on the go, stuff like that. It is so much easier just to chug a shake real quick. A lot of times if I can, I'll do mine with like almond milk just so I get a bit more carbs and like I'll do like some rice cakes or a bagel just so I can make it a little bit more of like a complete meal.
But you
And
actually
some
have
people
like
just
your
like the
unique one
crunch.
though.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people just rely on their protein shakes and they sit there and this is me being insensitive, saying that I don't have time. Okay, let me look at your screen time on your phone and see
Yeah.
how much time you actually have to meal prep your
More of a laziness factor
yes.
over a
That's the
convenience
issue that I have
factor.
with it.
Or lack
Yeah.
of. No, I 100% agree. There is a time and a place, and they can be really helpful for just like, hey,
Hmm.
this happened, or hey, I'm in a meeting over lunch. Like, there's lots of times to use them. But
Yeah.
what I have found personally, and I know, working with clients and that too, and working with people, it's really hard to meet your protein goals without
Hmm.
planning. Like you can't just
Yes.
like wake up in the day and go about your eating and think, even if you think you're a quote good eater, I almost guarantee most people are under eating protein, even though they think that they're
Hmm.
eating adequate amount of protein. It is hard to eat
Especially women.
that much protein.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And and the comment about breakfast, like, breakfast can be a personal choice. That's up to the individual. Some people just don't like to eat breakfast, and it doesn't mean it's good or bad. But I will say, if you don't eat breakfast, you're narrowing that window of time that now you
Hmm.
have to try to get your protein in. And that
Yes.
becomes even more difficult. And because you can have some GI side effects from protein, and because protein is more has more satiety to it, and now you narrowed that window trying to get all those grams in, you might physically be too full to
Yeah.
eat the protein. And that's when I would tell someone, like, hey, if you're not eating breakfast, you probably should consider it. Or,
Yeah.
maybe mid morning, whatever. But if they're not meeting their protein goals, spacing out that window is definitely going to.
Yeah. Or in one to like way that if you are someone that's gonna use like the protein powder, like we'll use it like I'll make like smoothies for the kids and I'll put in some protein powder. So if like you have like kids that are kind of more picky eaters, protein powder too sometimes can be a really like a nice sneaky way to put it in stuff. Like you can put it like in their oatmeal, pancakes, waffles,
These.
smoothies, stuff like that. Like it can be an easy like sneak in type of thing.
Yes, I love that.
Um, which I think is really, really been, can be super beneficial. Or, time crunch, stuff like that. Just I would just say don't, kind of like Nelson was saying, don't rely on it. But time crunch or an adding to what you're already doing, I think
Mhm.
they can definitely be beneficial. I would say too, like if you can try and get like a more quality protein powder, because like some like the lower quality ones, like kind of like you were saying, Duncan, can have a lot of like GI issues, digestion, bloat, um,
Just
can be
overall
pretty
gross
gassy.
feeling.
Yeah,
Constipation. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And some people, even
Constipation.
with like the best protein powder, some
Mm-hmm.
people just they don't tolerate whey, and so they might have to do more of a plant based.
Yeah.
So I think it's just trial and error because I do get that question quite a bit from people. They'll say like, "What protein powder should I use?" I'm like, the one that doesn't cause you to feel like shit.
Yes.
That's the one you use. And
Yes.
then the second thing I think I would really make sure to look at is, the more ingredients something has, probably not the best for you.
Mm-hmm.
And that also kind of goes along the lines of, when we talk about processed food and, if something can sit on a shelf for a really long time and not degrade, it's probably not the greatest thing to put in your body, but there are options that are better than others. So
Yeah.
circling that to protein powders, look to see what the ingredients are.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where you'll find, like what Nelson was saying, as far as like choosing a quality, or whoever said that, choosing a quality
Yeah.
protein source.
Yeah.
And that goes with bars too. Like I know the bars might be yummy, some of them anyway, but they can really do a number on your stomach.
Yeah.
And ideally, you should be trying, like you said, to get into whole foods, because I do see that where it's like protein bar after protein bar. And it's like, gosh, there's so much crap in protein bars too. I
Mm-hmm.
think
And
they're
they
a
make
good,
you gassy too. Like if I have two protein bars back to back, yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna clear a fucking room.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah. Same with like a lot of
I
like I'll notice that too.
I made the mistake, talking about like the Olympia Expo. One of the things, like I said, the adult trick or treat is there's so many booths that have sample after sample.
Mm-hmm.
And back when I was competing, when I would go to these expos and they would have all these samples, after being in a deficit, now you just got done with the show, I was like inclined to want to just try all of these samples, partly
oh
because I
God.
could, and
Uh-huh.
I was miserable. So not only like cutting out protein bars for however many weeks leading up to a show, but then overeating them after the show
Mm-hmm.
was horrible. So I learned
Yeah.
my lesson the hard way.
Yeah.
And
Well,
some are better than others for me. Some I tolerate, some I don't.
yeah. Yeah. I definitely get that, especially like being like the way I don't do a lot of dairy, so I notice like if I've been relying or I've been adding a lot of like the way to stuff, or whether I'm um just busy at work or with life and stuff and been relying on shakes more than I probably should. Like like we were saying, like I'll definitely have a lot of like the GI issues, definitely bloated. Yeah, just not super awesome to be around.
Yeah.
But so just kind of keep that in mind. And there are other options like the vegan options, stuff like that. Or
Ugh.
yeah, some of the
Those
vegan
are
proteins
sucky.
are
They're
really rough.
terrible. I do the clear ISOs. I can't do the whey blends anymore. Our clear
Yeah,
ISOs that we have, I don't have any GI
yeah.
issues.
Those are a good option.
Hmm.
And kind of like
And no fats, so that's good.
yeah. I think with protein powder, my opinion, you definitely get what you pay for. So if you're paying for a slightly higher quality protein, you're probably gonna have a few less issues with it. But obviously like in moderation,
Yeah,
I
it's
would
gonna
say.
be person
Yeah.
dependent too
Mhm.
on what your
Yeah,
stomach can handle.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I found personally, And I have bought some really solid brands of whey protein, and I get so disappointed because I'm like, gosh, this is such a quality protein, and it's just it doesn't seem to matter.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I have figured out that I think I probably just tolerate the plant-based. Well, the problem with plant-based, to be transparent, is they typically don't taste as good, and the
No.
consistency is just so different. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to be, and I'm used to it now, but I remember that transition, which is like, oh, it's like, it's just different. It's hard to explain.
Yeah.
I don't think it's appealing, but I don't have the side effects like I do with whey, even though there are plenty of solid whey proteins out there. And I wish that they worked for me because they have more flavor options also.
Mm-hmm.
But they just don't. They just tear up my stomach or,
You should try our clear ice. Those.
uh,
I'll give you a sample the next time I see you in 87 years.
I know, right? Because I still need that, which another supplement now, collagen.
Uh-huh.
I need to come pick up that. So I use collagen. Again, just supplementing some because I know most days I'm probably lagging in protein. But collagen can also have, good for your hair, your skin, your
Hmm.
bones. There's
Yeah.
different kinds of collagen. So be careful when you're choosing.
I really
Sometimes,
like ours, and I'm not being biased or anything because I sell that stuff,
oh,
but
I believe you because, like I was telling you, I have my best friend. She told me about that like months ago. I just kind of forgot about it.
yeah.
And she said that she really noticed improvement in her hair and nails after starting that one specifically.
Oh yeah. I
So
mean, it's awesome stuff. My nails grow like a flipping weed. My hair now touches my butt within like a couple months, and I think I was like an inch and a half away when I first started because I wanted to like actually take measurements of my hair to see how quickly it would grow. And yeah, within I think 2.5 months, it grew like an inch and a half,
that's awesome.
which is insane to me.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll be
I mean,
anxious to
I
try
like
that
it.
out.
And
Well,
it's
and you guys kind
flavorless,
of
so I
know.
just put it in with my protein and my creatine, my protein shake and stuff.
Yeah, because is it flavorless?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Both
The
are
one I had
chocolate
used before was
and
flavorless.
yeah. We always
I
get
like that.
flavorless because it's such an easy thing you can throw in with your
Yeah.
protein shake.
And I've been on this big, now those of you who can't tolerate dairy, which it's weird, I can't tolerate whey, but I can tolerate dairy. I've been on a big cottage cheese and Greek yogurt kick, and then I put a scoop of protein powder in, a scoop of collagen unflavored powder, put some protein granola on top, which be careful, it does have carbs, so it's not like a free for all just because it has the magic label of protein. It's more so for the crunch. And I like mix all of it up and it looks really nasty. And then I eat it and it's really great. And I can get about easily 40 to 50 grams. I don't go much over that just because, there's kind of conflicting literature on what's the maximum amount you can actually absorb in one sitting.
Mm-hmm.
And that number tends across different studies tends to be about 40 to 50. So I try not to like go over that much just because I'm like, I'll just save it for a different meal. But
Yeah.
it's good. It looks gross, but it is good.
What's another? I'm trying to think, just like blanket, blanket
I mean, I
supplement.
think a solid multivitamin
Oh,
is
yep.
good. Um, Again, I think you have to be careful because there's a lot of just added stuff in multivitamins,
Mm-hmm.
and if your body doesn't need it, essentially you it's filtered to your kidneys and you excrete it for urination. But yeah, I think again you have to be really mindful about getting a quality multivitamin.
Yeah.
Vitamin D is huge. Vitamin B12 is huge. So if someone were to just ask me, like, hey, I just feel tired all the time, I'm just like, ugh, those are supplements I would ask about. Um,
Yeah.
not everybody absorbs them the same. And if you're truly worried about increased fatigue, then you probably need to get evaluated also, and not just take supplements and not
Hope for the
look at
best.
the root cause. Right. But those are good general, vitamin D can have hormonal positive effects,
Mhm.
vitamin B12, so
Well, speaking of like sleep and recovery and stuff, one that I take and I kind of had to figure out like my personal like dosing of it, I guess, would be a magnesium powder. Um,
yeah, yeah.
and I take half a scoop of mine, probably every 2, 3, 4 days, just kind of depends on how I'm feeling. And I definitely notice a huge difference in like being able to, like I was saying, or like fall asleep, have good quality, like restful sleep, without waking up and feeling groggy the next morning. So I used to do like a melatonin. I'd wake up
Ooh,
feeling like just a bag of dicks the next
see,
day, like,
was opposite with
and it
melatonin.
gives me
My
bad dreams.
heart would race.
Really?
Like me and my brother both, we cannot take
Hmm.
melatonin. Like our heart, it will just race for hours.
See, and
It's horrible.
I've talked to quite a few
Could you
people that just
Gives
don't
me anxiety.
that just don't have like a good reaction to melatonin,
Mm-mm.
for whatever reason. I guess I don't know. Like I said, with mine, like one, it gives me really bad dreams. And then I'm still really groggy the next day. So
Like you
I
didn't get
don't.
a decent night's rest.
Yeah, like, and I just feel like just tired and still worn down
Hmm.
more so the next day. I don't know. But so that's why I like the magnesium, because I feel like I don't have that. I will say with the magnesium though, it did like take me a little bit of figuring out the right dose and time for mine, because I was taking a full scoop of mine. And I do the magnesium through Revive supplements. Just for like what curious whatever dosing, I don't even know is but yeah, I was doing a full scoop every single night, and I was having like wicked, like super vivid dreams to the point where like it was opposite. Like I was waking up because I was like, well, that's don't like that.
disturbing?
Um,
That sounds awesome.
and it wasn't. Because I brought it up with my therapist, and I said, I said, I don't know. I said, like, bad dreams and stuff are coming back, and we're trying to figure out what was going on. And I said, this was when I first started taking it, and he goes, well, he goes, maybe he goes either cut back or don't do a full scoop every night and see if that helps. He goes, actually, one of the side effects of magnesium is super, super vivid dreams. Um, and so I was like, oh, like I would have never thought that, didn't think anything of it. And yeah, sure as shit, I stopped taking it for a week, and that side effect stopped.
Resolved.
Yeah,
Well,
and so
magnesium, it's like a calming to the smooth muscles too. So, like, I mean, I think of in obstetrics, if somebody is preeclamptic, meaning that they're on the verge of seizing, the treatment for them is, well, delivery of the baby or magnesium, because it,
yeah,
it calms. So someone who also experiences muscle cramps, we always think of like, oh, potassium, but also calcium and magnesium play such a huge role with how energy and contraction is done in the smooth muscles. So
yeah.
magnesium, good for sleep, but also good for recovery. The electrical activity through the muscles is kind of calmed. And I'm not very consistent. I would like to say that I take it routinely, but I'm not consistent. That is one that I feel like until I get bad muscle cramps or something, I'm like, why am I not taking magnesium?
Yeah. Well, that was what kind of kicked me back into reminding to take it is because I was noticing like my sleep and stuff was off again. And then I was like, oh, well, yeah, I haven't been, taking my half a scoop every couple of days. And so I've been doing that for last week, and it's been helping again. But yeah, if it's something you like struggle with like falling asleep or having like really good like restful sleep, maybe give that a shot. Just be aware you potentially will have just some off the wall dreams if you have too much.
Dose tweaking needed. I used ashwagandha.
Oh, yes, that I do that as well. Yes.
Yeah, and that one has a nice, not only does it kind of have the calming effect, but the thought is that it can also help with like regulating cortisol. So
Yes.
typically at night, you're wanting cortisol, the stress hormones, to be coming down so that you can
Mhm.
rest. So, we talk about sleep hygiene and screen time, routine, lighting, relaxation, all those things. But ashwagandha is a nice tool that can be utilized with that helps that cortisol level to just
Yeah.
kind of come down nicely without it being a crash.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I do know I that is one that I do notice if I run out and I haven't ordered it or I been a few nights where I haven't taken it. I definitely do notice the ashwagandha, like as far as like the calming and just that nice restful sleep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she got
without the grogginess
good sleep.
or
I didn't get any of
feeling
that.
drunk in the morning.
You what, Duncan?
Oh, no, I was just saying it's that nice restful sleep without feeling groggy or
Yes.
drunk in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah, so the ashwagandha and magnesium, I think good for like, kind of like your sleep and stuff. A multi, yeah, probably most people, like you said, could probably benefit from it. Just be aware of what's in your multi. What's your thoughts on like the fish oil or stuff like that?
Omega threes.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, there's definitely good literature that supports, for heart health and but I think it just kind of depends where you look because you'll also find different literature that says it doesn't make that much of a difference. But I think most of what you'll see is it's not going to hurt you. If anything, it can just kind of help the way you're utilizing fatty oxidants through your body and how your body is utilizing those. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, there's something I take do you take omegas, Nelson? Yeah.
I have to. Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah, I just started that a few weeks ago,
yeah.
along with NAC,
Yep, great for
DHA,
inflammation.
Mm-hmm.
uh,
DHEA.
Yeah.
DHEA.
Yep, that's your precursor for
Yeah.
testosterone and estrogen or
Mm,
progesterone.
yeah, I think that's all I take. Multi, NAC, omegas, DHEA. Did I say multi?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I thought there was one more.
Tatka milk thistle
Yeah,
for
yeah. There you go. That's
liver
the other one.
kidney stuff.
Yep.
Yeah,
Um,
that helps with kind of detoxing liver, right?
mm-hmm.
Kidneys and livers, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. That one gives me heartburn.
I take, and a lot of like my vitamins and stuff, I actually will kind of split mine. Like I have like my morning ones, that I take like obviously in a fasted state. Um, but I have to be careful because I have to have a meal before I can take the bulk of my like daily vitamins. Otherwise I get really, really nauseous. So if you're someone that like, so and pre-workout too, a lot of people get really nauseous on pre-workout. Try and like if you're that person, I would say have some food in your system. A lot of these vitamins and stuff too, like do better having food to help shuttle them as well.
The Tutka's the only one that you should take with an empty stomach.
Yeah. Um,
Everything else, I mean, from what I take anyway,
mhm.
everything
Now,
else,
Tutka, remind me, that one's for kidneys, right?
kidney and
Milk
liver,
thistle,
Yeah.
detox,
liver.
Yeah.
Tutka is more so for your,
anti-inflammatory, and
your kidneys.
Mhm.
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah. Um,
And I want to put out there too, if you are taking some of these other supplements, in pill form, and you have prescription medications, you have to be careful and always disclose to your physician because there
mhm.
can be interactions with supplements and your prescription medications. And
Yes.
and that could be like medications might become less effective or taking other supplements might decrease the absorption of other medications like
Mhm.
calcium is can be known to do that because it binds It can bind to other medications, and then your body's not using them as they're supposed to.
Yeah.
So, um, yeah, so that's just kind of a disclaimer too, because there's just so much that we have access to just on the shelf.
Right. Well, I think there's a lot of stuff too. Like, and if you're really wanting to like optimize as far as like, we're talking about like supplements, but as far as like vitamins too, like, I kind of count those as like your supplement, like your micros and stuff. You should, again, as always, be getting from a lot of your whole foods. But a lot of the stuff, the vitamins do help kind of that little bit of added extra, or fourth person in our party, extras and stuff too. But I would always say too, and maybe Duncan, can add to it, like getting blood work too, if you really want to optimize vitamins and what you should be taking, like, and not wasting your money. Obviously blood
Yes.
work is going to help you give an even better indicator, like, is
Right.
something you should be taking, or the calcium, or what kind of multi, stuff like that. Like, obviously the blood work is going to help lead you down that path rather than just
Right. Because
buying.
there is such thing as too much. So like someone could be actually ingesting too much calcium, and that can also cause problems. And the example I gave earlier, if you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm just so run down all the time, and um, I'm going to try to take D and vitamin B12 because that's what Duncan suggested. You
Hmm.
have to also ask yourself, like, how long has the fatigue been going on? What else could be contributing to it? Maybe you have more
Right.
stress. Maybe you're not eating well. Maybe you're dehydrated. Maybe you're stressed and sick.
Hmm.
What's your cycle like? Are you having like extremely heavy cycles every month? So,
Hmm.
at some point you have to ask yourself, like, it renders like going in, having blood work. It could be your iron, it could be hemoglobin, it could, maybe you have a little infection going on, you didn't even realize it. Maybe your thyroid is off. So like, instead of just, I think people have to be reminded, like, really evaluate what else is going on. Like Nelson was talking about earlier, start at the foundation, like
Hmm.
your diet, your exercise, your sleep, your stress, all the things.
Hmm.
And as you're working your way up the house, if things are still off, despite maybe some of the interventions you've tried, then you really need to go get checked out, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. Especially because, as we were saying, some of these, supplements and vitamins, stuff like that, the cost can really, really add up. And if it's something that you don't need, or you're not properly utilizing, like, you're literally just lighting up, you're peeing that money out. Like,
Right. And some supplements can, as we were talking about earlier, supplements to take to help protect the kidneys and liver. Well, some supplements can actually do harm to your kidneys and liver. And so,
Mhm.
you should always disclose, with your regular provider, not only prescription medications you're taking, because, as we know, when you go into the office, they're, oh, what medications are you taking? If they don't ask you specifically, which they should, that also includes over the counter medications, which also include supplements. Even
Yeah.
if you take a million supplements, bring a list so that you can, they can make sure you don't have any potential interactions or contraindications because of your kidney and liver health and so on.
Right. Right. Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, I think it's kind of like a good little peek into like supplements and vitamins, and we can have an episode too where we actually go through and break down what all of us take and why. Because we've all been in the game long enough where we've probably tried just about every protein powder, BCA, like, what I mean? Like, we've been around long enough
Well,
that
and
gone through it a
like we've
decent
talked,
amount.
right. And like we talked about, they change depending on like the
Mhm.
supplements I take now are significantly different than they were when I competed.
Right.
Probably different than what you guys take.
Yeah. Yeah. So I
So
definitely think that would be, something future wise we can dive into. We can
yeah,
be a little bit more kind of prepared on individual ends and list out, kind of what all, like I said, we're all taking. And I think too, like people are always curious about that. And, you know,
Well, and there's so many different options out
mm-hmm,
there. Like
mm-hmm,
people don't do a whole lot of their own research on stuff like that. Like anything I take, I fucking research. I want to know what I'm
mm-hmm,
putting in my body. I want to know the ins and outs of why I need to take this, what this is going to do to me, what this is
mm-hmm.
going to counteract. Does this go good with this? Like
Yeah.
research is a beautiful tool for what you're putting in your body.
Mm-hmm.
And make sure it's reputable research.
Yeah, that yes. Not Wikipedia or your stupid fucking favorite fitness influencer.
Yeah.
So real quick, as we wrap up, like if we all went around and you had to give like your top, like you're going on an island for X amount of days, what's the ones, obviously your training is going to change, so maybe that's not a good example, but like what's the one supplement
What do you
that
mean your
you would
training's gonna
not
change?
want?
My training don't change. I work out on vacation. What are you talking
You're
about?
stranded on an island.
Oh,
I was talking about being
I'm
stranded
still
on an
gonna work
island.
out. That's my sanity, dude.
Well,
Doug is gonna
That-
yes, but I
that's my
guarantee your
sanity.
training, get that, but I guarantee your training would look different. So that's why I said it's a bad example. So if you had one supplement that you really would rather not ever go without, like it is your go-to, what is that?
Well, if I'm stranded on an island, I'd probably do protein.
Okay, let's say you're not stranded on an island. You're
Creatine.
traveling. You're traveling.
Creatine.
Creatine.
Yeah.
I feel like that is
Same.
the only necessity supplement. Not really necessity. I shouldn't say that.
That would
The
be your that
most
would be your go.
needed supplement, just because of the neurological benefits of it. Because
And
I
I think
could not remember worth a shit a year ago, and then I started taking it religiously. I remember everything. You can't get shit past me.
I wish I could say I had memory improvements, but my brain is probably different stuff. But that would be mine too. I think it's cheap. There's so much good quality evidence on it
Mm-hmm.
across the lifespan, even elderly.
Yeah.
Minimal side effects, minimal contraindications. I just think why not? That is one that I would
Yeah.
probably consider as part of my foundation even. Do you have to have it? No, so it's not quite like the nutrition and hydration, sleep, all that, but pretty darn close.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree on that. And can't I don't know. I can't think of the right word. But like I don't take creatine. It's something I know I should, but I have a really heavy red meat diet. Um, so I get a decent amount, but should I probably take it? Yeah. Do I? No. Just being totally transparent. But I definitely think I not think I know I would benefit from taking it regardless of what my diet looks like right now, but I just don't.
Mm.
Well,
I think
nothing.
it's too.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. Um that would be mine too. Like so just overall everything benefits.
Yeah, there's just so many benefits that come with creatine. Like,
Yeah.
Okay, I just looked up quick. It looks like it would take about 2 pounds of raw beef to have 5 grams of creatine, which is in like one scoop.
Yeah, I probably get um probably 8, depending on the day, 6 to 8 ounces of flank steak that I eat.
so that wouldn't even
So
be.
you could even take like a half a scoop of creatine just to kind
Yeah.
of
So you're
fill
not
in
getting
that
as much as
gap.
No, and
what you're thinking.
no, like I said, I know I would definitely benefit from it. Um, for sure. A lot of mine is, and this sounds really dumb, I don't, mine's a body image thing. I get really watery. I don't like the watery,
Yes.
puffy, I don't like the watery, puffy look. Because I'm being totally transparent, that's why I don't.
Yep. And I don't think you're alone in that. That is what I would say a common, and even when you look up creatine, you're going to see that this one of the side effects is because of that cellular hydration. You're going to see
Yeah.
a couple pounds increase on the scale. you might feel a little puffier and you might even look a little puffier.
Mhm.
And when I was putting clients on creatine, I always gave that disclaimer to start off because I'm like, okay, in about 2 weeks when the cells are saturated,
Yeah.
you're going to see the scale bump. Don't freak out.
Yeah.
Like, and if you can't promise to not freak out, then you probably shouldn't do it because, that's just, you could almost anticipate easily 2 to 3 pounds from what I saw.
Yeah.
And personally,
Yep.
um, I think maybe 5 pounds is the most I ever saw or like had someone report back to me. So, and then prior to show for competitors out there, you should be going off unless your coach says differently. But it's
Mhm.
pretty safe to say you should be stopping your creatine at least 4 to 6 weeks before a show so that you're not holding on to the extra water and potential GI side effects from creatine because
Yeah.
it can cause a little bit of bloat and but you have to make sure that you're still staying adequately hydrated
Hmm.
because your muscle cells need that hydration.
Yeah. Yeah. No, like I said, it's definitely one. I don't take it for a dumb reason. Like I and
Oh, I
I'm
don't think it's
I
dumb.
definitely know
Like,
I know I should. I definitely benefit. I might have 3 brain cells instead of two.
oh my gosh, you're fine. And that's the thing. I think it's not our job individually to point out what we think someone should or shouldn't be doing. We look at studies, we look at literature, we look at what's worked for us personally, what has worked for maybe our clients. But like I think we got to get away too from being like, oh, like you said, Sadie, like I know it's bad, or it's like, no, it's not bad. It's your body, it's your choice. If you don't want to take creatine, then don't freaking take creatine. End of story.
And live with 2 brain cells instead of 3. But yeah, no, I agree. Like I said, it might be one, down the road. I'm sure I will reintroduce it back, when I maybe, have a different lifestyle or I'm not so wrapped up in being puffy. But
Girl, you don't have to validate. Like you don't have to validate why you
no,
choose to not take it. So, um, anyway, all right. Well, anything else?
no, no.
No,
Squatted 300 pounds today.
Good Lord. Good
you
job.
did. Hot damn.
I see that. Yeah, because you've been trying. Ouch. Oh, I just clawed myself.
Don't do that.
Um, you've been chasing 300 for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. That's a good feeling. Congratulations.
Mm.
Squat-tober. It's only fitting.
Part of the 300.
October, yeah.
Now I just got to bench 225 and I'll be happy.
Oof.
I'll get there.
I have been, um, well, just like once or twice. So a couple years ago, again, speaking of Olympia, I had done, you guys have probably seen it before, um, like venous compression for like arms or legs. So we had gotten some of those straps a couple years ago, and I don't use them routinely. I have never used them routinely, but I was finding in the gym recently, not only am I just feel like I'm on a time constraint, but my energy just kind of sucks. The motivation is just not quite there. And I had gotten my daughter some of the straps a couple years ago. So I'm like, well, I'll get those out. And what I forgot that I liked was how you can do less weight and still get that stimulus to the muscles because of the venous
Mhm.
compression. Like, I don't know if you guys have looked into that much. Um,
I've
there's
never.
not, yeah. So what you
Blood flow
do,
restriction straps.
blood flow blood flow restriction straps. They can be really useful for people who even have like joint issues and maybe they're still trying to get like strength training in and that stimulus to the muscle, but they can't tolerate these heavy weight loads. And so you're pretty much just putting on a strap, top of your arm, top of your leg. There
Like a
are you
kit
you have
almost.
to be knowledgeable in it. You can um, adjust them,
Mhm.
and what it does is it just helps to improve the blood flow, some of the lymphatic drainage that you get. and you're compressing the venous return, if that makes sense. So you're kind of like pumping the ability for the blood to get back to the heart.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it's kind of crazy. What sold me on it, because I wasn't familiar with it, but they gave like a little presentation a couple years ago at the expo setup, and what they did is they had you put the straps on and lift like 5 pound dumbbells, doing bicep curls, and I got to 15 and was like maxed out. It was
Yeah, it like
insane.
it makes it like hurt. It like
Hmm.
Yeah.
but
So the thought is that you're just changing up the oxygen delivery. And, you know, I'm going to say there's probably not a lot of solid data at this point to say, like, hey, do this because it'll do this. I'm aware of that. But because lately I just have not been able to lift very heavy, and I'm just like, oh, I thought, you know what, I'll get those out, something to just give a different stimulus to the muscle.
Mhm.
So that was kind of my thought behind it. I'm not saying it's like a magic solution. Um, so anyway, kind of interesting. You could replicate, I mean, just using a band. I can tell you guys that because you would do it safely. But I could see some idiot just tying a belt around the top of their thigh, and
Yeah, don't do that.
yeah, don't do that.
But interesting. Yeah, it's been
Yeah, yeah, I'll have to bring him.
I've used once, yeah, for like some bicep curl stuff. And yeah, it was like you do like a couple and it like it's like that almost like when you have like that super painful pump at the end of like a super like
Yes, yeah, that's probably the best
high
way to
rep like jump
describe it.
set.
Yeah,
It's like that, but like almost instant. It's kind of crazy. It's definitely not like I mean I
you don't
wouldn't
do
do
it
it.
every time.
Yeah, no, it's just kind of like one like you said, just like a fun throw it in here just for see what happens, shits and giggles type of thing. But
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, and like I said, the thought is like your muscles, for that venous flow to get back to the heart, they're working harder because they have that resistance from the compression.
mhm.
So yeah, kind of cool concept. So anyway, well, is that about it? We wrapping it up?
Yeah, that's it. Like I said, I think it's kind of like a nice little like intro overview over some supplements, take it, leave it. We'll do it like a deep dive another time, when we're all not so schedule maxed out. But
I
Hmm.
know.
yeah,
I
like
I
always, like you said too, like definitely talk to your provider, like if you have questions about stuff or like if you're taking certain medications, do your own research into stuff as well. Try and get research on both sides of it, pros and cons, because you get kind of a more well-rounded opinion from different sources and stuff when you're taking stuff. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, just should be the supplement to supplement what you're already doing and
Hmm.
not a reliance per se.
Build your
yes.
house
Yes. Yeah.
properly. Start with the foundation, then the
Mm-hmm.
walls, then the roof,
Mm-hmm.
decor. Be
Mm-hmm.
safe. Don't be stupid.
Yes.
Research, not from your fitness influencer BS. God, I hate those people. They're so dumb.
Uh, yeah. Yes. But
All
yeah,
good things.
that's kind of all I got. If you guys have questions, obviously, reach out to us, DM us, message, ask us in person, all that fun stuff. Try and point you in the right direction. Give you our what's- experiences with it. Wow, that word just said absolutely in my brain.
You
See,
got
there's
this.
where that extra 5 grams of creatine will come into play.
Ah,
Have-
touche.
I could have three brain cells instead of two, and that would be like a whole new world for me. I don't know what to do with myself.
I'm gonna guess much of that is due to your lack of sleep. Just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
probably. Lack of sleep,
anyway,
combined with everything else I have in my brain.
small humans.
Goodness.
Yeah,
Ugh,
that'll do it.
feral little raccoons. But
Yeah.
Okay, well, great talking to you, ladies. I hope I can see you in person soon.
Yes, sometime within the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, I was thinking 87. You're being honest.
And Nelson, save that collagen for me. I can tell you this off the air too, but I can even Venmo you ahead of time if you that way it's already paid for.
Oh, well, do you
Speaking
have
of
Chris's
protein, I
Venmo?
need my protein.
Protein. Oh, I
Yeah.
should have brought it.
I know, I
Well,
was thinking.
duh. That was stupid.
Oh well.
Yeah, then you could show, well, you could take pictures of it. We could just upload it on the podcast like story and stuff.
Yeah.
Like take like some nice pics of it.
Some aesthetically
And you
pleasing.
could give, yeah, and you could give like a little description of each one.
All the different supplements you guys have.
Oh, supplement. I'm like, what the fuck are we talking about here?
Oh my goodness. All right.
Maybe you need more creatine.
Apparently, well, I
Creatine.
downed my creatine because I didn't think I needed as much, but apparently that was a mistake.
Oh goodness.
Well, why don't you go have an extra scoop?
I might have to, or maybe I'll just go get a scoop of ice cream. That'll
Mm.
Mm.
that'll work for him.
I'm gonna have me a
In
nap.
har
That's how that's gonna go.
I might
in
play.
harmony, we're all like, mm.
Yeah. Shoot.
Okay.
All right.
Well, we'll
Anyway.
talk soon.
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
with that also, um, I definitely need to go to sleep. I need to take a nap. My brain is actively shutting down as we speak. But tune in, follow along, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Thank you guys as always, and we will catch you for the next one.
Bye.
Bye.